is, again, standard, all dungeons, Uncle Assured, and we're off. So no key sanity today.
Which is great for me, because I'd never be able to keep track of it. Starting with the shield in the opening chest, I'm sure they're both glad to see that.
It's really trying to be an MG, man.
You are correct. Now we just get to watch the sweet pumping and the other lag cancels and all the other NMG tech that's going to take place during this escape.
All right, so there's our Uncle Assured sword. We've got the whole toolkit with the shield as well.
And Kohrek with the bomb drop right at the start. That's always nice to see.
Yeah, so now he's just in go. Let's just get through here as fast as we can. I love getting an early bomb drop like that.
It looked like it was the first one in the series of drops from the Green Guard, so let's hope SA does get that one as well.
Yeah, lots of opportunities to farm those guards here. Just naturally through progressing through the run.
Yeah, with the changes in version 30, I suspect both of them will probably leave the farming till after they've reached Zelda's cell, because basically you're hoping that with the added bombs into the pool, you're just going to find one in a chest on the way there.
Yeah.
And Kohrek a little cleaner through that room. Sorry for stepping on you, Pure Agent.
Nope. Finding our mandatory key to get through escape, so there's that. Still no bomb drop from SAGTG, but we do know that there's bombs in the prize pool for the guards.
I have a feeling he might just get it from this one coming up. And that's a green magic. That's interesting.
Yeah, and now you don't have to worry about money early is super nice as well.
Yeah, it's always nice to see that early, and it's looking like they won't have to worry about money at all, whether Zora's involved or not. And it's nice to see them both going for the sword strats.
Yeah, you do have to be careful. But both of our runners able to make it through. Still no bomb for SAGTG.
Yeah, we'll see how aggressively he farms with Zelda on his way back.
Yeah, I imagine the hallway after escape where you got 3 green guards is usually a good place to farm pretty quickly.
Yeah, especially since both of them took a little bit of damage on that fight. I wouldn't be surprised if they both picked up one of those pots just to get one of the heart refills right there.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're just joining us, this is game 2 between Team 4K, 4th and 4head, and the Titans Mitts. Team 4K is up a game after Jim took down EDM in a match earlier today. That was a really fun watch. And this is these are player C, so the higher ranked team was able to choose the mode, and the lower ranked team was able to veto one of the selections, and SAGTG chose to veto key sanity. Does have to be careful. Half a heart.
I was thinking the same thing. It could be even one hit from the rats. We'll see, but I suspect he'll probably get that heart pot in the next room. But he does still need to find that bomb.
Yeah, did 0 farming outside of killing the normal guards in front of him. And he's in a hurry. He's not even going to pick up that other heart piece.
He ain't got time for that.
All right, so lots of ropes here. Good place to farm. Does have to be careful.
Yeah, they do a lot of damage this early in the game, and now he's running the risk of not being able to farm because it's too risky.
Yeah, I mean, those ropes can just come out of nowhere. the way they attack you. And he's at a half a heart.
Yeah, it seems they're particularly fond of just sniping you right before you release your sword spin in that room if you're not careful too, which is important.
All right, so Kohrek, with that one bomb, going to be able to give us a look at these items here in the back of Escape. Ooh, an 8 bomb drop. Hopefully, for SAGT's sake, he's able to get that.
He's just skipping it looks like it. Oh, he got it.
All right. It looked like an almost accidental farm where it was like, get out of my way. I'm not really trying to kill you.
And I do remember a particular quote from SA in the chat after the EDM race that he was going to do some pretty aggressive routing. So you may be right.
So, both of our runners able to do the back of Escape. Unfortunately for them, there's nothing there. That was a pretty lackluster escape as far as items go.
Yeah, other than the money and the bombs, it was not a lot of value.
Now, this is all dungeons, so they've got to do it all, including Aga. Haven't got a map check from them. Not as important. Well, speak of the devil. I saw a pendant in Eastern and a crystal at Hera. I missed the desert. Hopefully our tracker picked that up. Might as well shout them out today, right now. Oh, it's a green pendant at the desert. Tracker for today is Revolving Ocelot, so big shout outs to him for tracking today. Let them know if you see anything that they miss. One of our best trackers, so not going to miss much.
So just a heart piece up there in the mushroom spot. I don't think either one of them will be too interested in.
Nah. Got 7 bombs. No bottle, no flute, but no reason to skip out on Kakariko, really. If you're going to skip Kakariko, you probably would have done it right out of Sanctuary. If you're going to go Lost Woods, you're going to make your way to Kakariko for the most part.
Yeah, exactly. And because, you see that pendant in Eastern, and sometimes that's a nice play early, but because of the all dungeons nature of this match, you might want to delay that more than you would in a Ganon race.
Yeah, it'll be real interesting to see. Something that's always fun about all dungeons is having to find an item needed in Ganon's Tower to complete a pendant dungeon.
Yeah, and I'm sure Kohrek is already thinking about whether or not Pod's going to be a pendant, because that has major implications for the game.
Right. That's always fun to have like go mode bow be in Ganon's Tower. Meanwhile, getting our first look at Kakariko, we've got Blind's Hut, and we do find our flippers. And conveniently, we've got quite a bit of money, so I imagine we'll be seeing a Zora check sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see much Divergent early here.
We got ourselves a lamp. Again, all dungeons, Aga, it's not as big of a deal because you're going to have to do it anyways. But our runners would preferably like to do Aga last.
Yeah, I kind of like to do it early for a couple of reasons. I'm not saying it's the better play, but like if you're going to check the pyramid anyways and you got to do it anyways, it's not the worst thing in the world. Plus, sometimes in the middle of these seeds, I'm looking for a few minutes just to think about what I want to do next, and I know I'm going to have to do that. And as long as I'm not too under-resourced, I might just make the play earlier than
Sure. Yeah, you're not losing time by doing Aga usually.
But it is nice because you can make an earlier gamble than you would otherwise, because knowing you're not totally sinking it.
Right. And lots of bombs here in Kakariko. We got ourselves a Master Sword, so Aga is in logic now.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if anyone went there this early with still lacking the Moon Pearl, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see someone go in there pretty soon.
Yeah, I would say once you find the Moon Pearl, I'd almost make the play for Aga. Of course, we could go to Mini Moldorm Cave and open a glove, a hammer, and a moon pearl, and call an end to all of that. All right, so just piece heart in the library ledge, and Kohrek gonna go right to the race game. SAGTG is gonna take a peek first. It is a unique item. Fortunately, one we do not need.
I like YOLOing that check sometimes just because it allows you to pick up a resource item you might not get otherwise,
Right.
but that's just disappointing also.
I feel like I base it on whether or not I think Kakariko was any good.
Yeah, that is true as well, and that it was a pretty weak Kakariko. Let's just put that up.
Yeah, we got the flippers, we got the lamp, and we got the master sword. It's okay. We get a little bit of divergence here, so it looks like Kohrek may be routing in Agina. We got the glove at the dam. We're gonna get our first look at Mini Moldorm Cave. Let's see how hype it is.
That was some excellent execution by Kohrek going through there.
Well, we got a Quake medallion.
Yeah, decidedly not hype, but you're gonna check it anyway.
Yeah, I mean you can't skip it, but not great. Okay, so he's not checking Agina. He's just using this opportunity to make his water checks, and I guess maybe route Dam and Agina in together. And we've got the Bombos medallion just sitting there on the lake.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Kohrek runs into anything here that steers him further away from that glove. Could be an advantage for SAGTG early on in this one.
Yeah, and I guess Kohrek has gotten a little bit more lucky in his money drops because he's got Zora money. GTG does not yet.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he maybe did a tree pull that happened when I wasn't paying attention, but yeah, he definitely is going to be going up there, and that's probably why he made the play directly there. And you're right with the he'll try and string Dam and Agina, or maybe even Desert if he finds something.
Right. Yeah. So both of our runners going to. I imagine Kohrek making his way over to the Ice Rod Cave as well. So we're gonna see little conversions here. And man, no, go ahead.
I was just saying, Ice Rod Cave, always one of those spots you hate checking, but you hate it even more when you don't check it. It has the...
Yeah, I agree. So looks like GTG is going to farm up a couple coins here, which is smart. We don't know if he's going to run into any more money on his way to Zora, and a quick way to guarantee that you're getting that 500.
It also almost guarantees that you're going to get a 300 in the cave when you do this.
100%. They're going to go to a waterfall ferry, and you're going to see 300 rupees.
So it really feels like they're going to run into the next thing of progression now. It'll be interesting to see what it is.
Yeah, if it's not here in the water, it's in one of the two locations that are not fun to go to. We got the eastern area, Sasha's Closet and Eastern Palace, which seems likely. We've got Agina, and of course, we might just have Moon Pearl on the pedestal, on the pyramid. But we do have the Mire. There we go. That's a nice item to find.
It opens, of course, the Tower of Hera in Logic now. For us, Kohrek doesn't know it's in Logic yet. He can't get there, but that seems likely to be where the seed is progressing to.
Yep. All right, so what does King Zora have for us? We give you 500 rupees, and you give us 20 back. That's terrible.
Yeah, you almost wish you didn't find the Mire so you could save quit out of that, but of course you can't.
But finding the Mire is a nice consolation.
The Mire is actually my favorite weapon, so yes, I would be extremely excited right now. And I say weapon, item, I guess is the right
Sure.
word.
I was
And,
just I was going to ask you, how do
yeah,
you use it as a weapon?
when my reflection goes in that mirror, it can be pretty weaponized here. And yeah, it's a really nice item to see her.
All right, so Kohrek gonna do the dam. He'll pick up his gloves, and I'm guessing the way he routed this is to route in Agina and maybe check out what's on Desert Ledge there.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It'll be interesting to see if he sticks with that once he finds the gloves.
Yeah, it could be a possible save and quit and just head up to the mountain. So GTG gonna get his 20 rupee refund on his 500 rupees and able to pick up his mirror. In this situation, you know what? I just hate the 3 items sitting in the back of Sasha's closet the whole time. I feel like they're always calling to me.
I agree. It's a play that always seems likely, but you're always hoping to find the boots or the flute or something to help you make that trip a little less painful.
Yeah, I agree.
And Kohrek is going, and he is skipping checking the desert ledge, which is a move that I totally support. I feel like if I'm going to be going to desert, I'm going to check that if I can get in there. So I like saving this little bit of time.
And I say GTG gonna make his way to the mountain. Let's see if he checks out Lumberjack Ledge first. Ooh, and the hammer at Agina.
That is an incredibly big location for that.
Wow. You know, in version 30, you just cannot skip Agina. You can't. It's inconvenient at all times, but you really cannot skip it.
Yeah, it's a very asynchronous point in the game where if you check it early and it has something, especially in a 1v1 race, it can be almost not a game deciding thing, but it can be a significant advantage for a long time because basically SAGTG is going to last location that at this point, unless he runs into the book or something like that that's going to draw him towards the desert area.
Right. All right. Return the old man. He gives us his leftover arrows. Thanks, buddy.
And it's particularly cruel with the hammer in this scenario because it does mean that SAGTG is going to have to double dip Death Mountain early, whereas Kohrek will be able to clear the East Death Mountain in this first trip up there.
Yeah, there's a very high likelihood of finding that Moon Pearl over on East Death Mountain. Oh, we got ourselves a flute there on Spectacle Rock, though.
That is good for checking Agina.
Yeah, that is great for SAGTG because he's going to be able to... he'll grab this flute. He'll clear out Hera, which is a crystal. Again, we're doing all dungeons, so pendants, crystals aren't as important in this distinction. We've got to do them all. And then he'll do the inside of Spectacle Rock and grab whatever it is Kohrek is going to grab here. And there's the Cane of Samaria. Start slow and then start revving up our engines. All right, so inside Spectacle Rock, we've got 20 rupees and a hint. The boots are in Paradox Cave. Oh, that's even more rough for GTG because it's going to be a little bit longer until he goes and grabs those.
Sometimes these things just roll downhill.
So if you're rooting for the Titans Mitts, you really want GTG to make a play to Agina to get that hammer and then back up the mountain to get into Paradox Cave. The longer he goes without that, the worse it will be. Now, he is going to go inside and check that hint, so he will find... he will know where the boots are. So the big thing is to make that check of Agina immediately following
and Kohrek saying
activating that flute.
I don't even need to go into Tower of Hera right now. I'm going to get me some boots.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not sure I would have had the patience to check Spiral Cave myself, but I respect the decision.
No, this is the smarter routing because you don't want to have to climb again. But knowing the boots are in Paradox Cave, it makes it very tempting.
And honestly, that's not the worst find. If he doesn't run into anything else, it's pod money, it's dig game money.
Yep. So, I think the first hit was Jokint and Hera, and I haven't seen any items yet. So we got our first bottle, and a heart container is in Paradox Cave as well.
Spoilers, please, game.
Alright, so we got our Moon Pearl, as predicted. And GTG must have picked up the first item because he's skipping out the big chest. So unless the item on Lumberjack is needed, we don't have to do Aga this seed. Oh right, Samaria. The first item was the Samaria. Thanks, Revolving Ocelot, our tracker today. And Kohrek chooses to save and quit out of Paradox Cave instead of going right to Hera.
I think Kohrek might be thinking about doing that last already at this point, this early in the seed, but of course that isn't going to be possible. But it's not that bad to get back to with.
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to check our Bonk Rocks location here now that we've got access to the boots. What's that going to give us? The mushroom. So let's go fetching. And it looks like GTG is going to go inside a Spectacle Rock. He'll get that boots in. That's going to be good for him. He'll go activate his flute. And hopefully for SAGTG and the Titansmiths makes their way to Agina.
It seems like a logical option because with Eastern Palace, I mean, sure, you can go there, but you can't do everything there with the bow yet. With the flute, the Agina check is really not that bad. Seeing that the Lumberjack Cave is dead here.
So Aga is dead as far as needing it for Dark World access or the Lumberjack Ledge. That's nice for our runners because they'll be able to save that for last.
Yeah, and there's just little things too, like with maybe Turtle Rock ends up being a crystal and you're on that Ice Rod hunt and you need to save that portal or whatever. So I suspect we won't be seeing an Aga play early.
Alright, and Kohrek's going to activate his flute. Almost immediately after, SAGTG activates his flute. We'll see where SAGTG chooses to go. Kohrek's, let's go right to the Dark World. Forget about Hera.
Yeah, he might be hoping to run into the Titansmiths or something else that adds to the volume of items he can check up there when he goes up there again, because of course he will have.
Sick Kid just got a piece of heart for us. Nice magic refill for Kohrek there. And GTG's gonna flute away. Let's see where he goes. He is gonna check desert. Let's see if he makes his way all the way to Agina. Alright, so this is really good for the Titansmiths.
And Kohrek is making the play up into Skull Woods.
Did he do a map check? I don't know if I saw that.
I don't think he did. He might not. At least not right away, because he'll know this is a crystal, and he might just check Thieves Town by sound as well.
Alright, hammer for SAGTG's got to feel good. Knowledge of where the boots are, I imagine he's going to head right over to Paradox Cave.
And Kohrek going right to the middle of Skull Woods. I think this is a decision both of us wishes we made at one point in this.
Yes. I hate Skull Woods. Alright, so we got 20 rupees there. It's always nice to find the item there, but you're kind of secretly hoping to find a key.
Yeah, exactly. Either the big key or the small key. I like that routing. And Kohrek is just going to do the drop down to hedge because he didn't find the key.
GGG unsurprisingly making his way directly to Paradox Cave, going to pick up his boots. So maybe a little bit behind, but you know, we've got a lot of race to go. He does have that Canis Maria and the first crystal of the game, so.
And also having the flute activated, he might choose to do a hype cave start or a little bit of divergence there too. We'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, so far Skullwood's not fruitful. There is one item still locked by the fire rod, and that was crystal music, right? I wasn't fully paying attention.
Yes, it was.
All right, just 10 sticks there on bumper ledge. Takes a little hit from the murder-dactyls, and we're gonna see graveyard ledge. Kohrek being very, very thorough in his routing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he continues this all the way over to our good friend Mr. Catfish, or if he U-turns back towards the village.
Yeah, that's a great question. All right, there's the boots for SAGTG, so he's ready to go fast. Let's see if there is anything here on the graveyard ledge. Just a piece of heart. Still early. Kohrek says, give me that heart, I'll take it.
Yeah, there's some sort of sunk cost fallacy associated with that dungeon. I tend to pick up the item there regardless of whatever it is. And I said dungeon, I meant cave.
Yeah, I gotcha. We've got Graveyard Ledge. We've also got Kingston. Let's see what this is.
I really like this check because if the myths are here, this is a pretty awful spot for.
How about Powder? We've got some fetch quests, my friend.
So fake powder's off the table, which always makes me happy.
Yeah, that's right. Where did we find that mushroom?
You're asking the wrong guy.
All right, so we are going to see Catfish play.
I like this play a lot. You got the boots, it's not too painful. Again, it's another out-of-the-way spot. He's going to be able to mirror back and check the mushroom while he's doing.
Yeah, just super efficient routing from Kohrek. Meanwhile, SAGTG going to give us our first look at Hype Cave, and I think we might need to come up with a new name for this cave.
I just like it because everyone knows what it is, but yeah, it is garbage.
All right, just 10 arrows from the mushroom. We started out with 50 rupees, 10 arrows. The ether, ooh, the hook shot, and a single green rupee. That's actually decent. That's a decent hype cave. What are you gonna give that one?
V30 adjusted, 2019. I'm going 8.5 out of 10. I'm a high grader. I have low expectations for hype cave.
I mean, when hype cave has been as garbage as it's been lately, you see the hook shot and a medallion. Yeah, get hype.
And SAGTG wasting no time.
Yeah, I like this. So we've got the mirror, we've got the flippers, we've got the hammer, we've got the hook shot. Let's go beat Swamp. So, as efficient and thorough of routing as Kohrek has made, he hasn't found anything.
Yeah, what he's done is eliminate bad spots, but if your opponent never checks them, that doesn't really help you too much.
Right.
Is Kohrek doing what I think he's doing right? We might be getting a check of that hint down in the dark Ice Rod Cave, the shopping mall.
I like it. No, he's
just coming down here. I like this.
Oh, he's gonna get his medallion.
This is some really good routing by Kohrek.
Bombos. Oh, I missed the first check in Swamp.
I think it might have been a big 20. I might have caught that out of the corner of my eye, but don't hold me to that one.
Well, that's why we've got our tracker. That's why we've got chat. They'll let us know. So instead of choosing Village of Outcasts and Beasttown, which are fully completable, Kohrek's going to check out the eastern side of Light and Death, Death World. We're going to take a look at Sasha's closet.
Yeah, the fact that he specifically left his portal there, I might be thinking he might not go into anything other than this.
Not much, just that shield and a little bit of life. Yeah, this doesn't seem like a pod play.
No, he's bailing out.
So probably gonna check the pyramid into Hype Cave, maybe?
Makes a little bit of sense, and GTG finding the ever awesome bug net in the second chest in Swamp. This is where the early swamp play starts to feel a little bad when you got to make that decision about the old lesson.
Right. Now I feel like, you know, this is smart. You've opened 2 items already. I'm sure he's willing to leave at least 1 here.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm referring to, is whether you come back in or not. It's definitely the wrong play to check it first time through.
So a very thorough check of North Dark World. Fortunately, didn't really yield much for him. Unsurprisingly, we find the mitts in Swamp. I feel like that's vanilla in Rando.
That might even be the vanilla chest. That is good news for Titan Smiths. You see how quickly this sort of, turned on its head is the wrong word, but one player's got a significant advantage. Now it looks like the other player has a significant advantage, and nothing really matters till we find that last thing. So
exactly.
Really fun seeded.
Yeah, I mean, Kohrek's routing has just been super nice and efficient. It just hasn't yielded him anything. GTG's got Hera finished already, got the Cane of Samaria, and now is already going to be up 2 dungeons, and got the Titan's Mitts to help make some of his overworld routing even better. So we'll see what goes from here. It looks like Kohrek's going to be joining him in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, this totally makes sense. Yeah, and it'll be interesting because this opens a lot of options. Dark Death Mountain is open now. I mean, you can start thinking a little bit about Ice Palace if you're Kohrek.
Yeah, even GTG, he knows where Bombos is. It might be smart just to go directly from here and go grab that Bombos medallion and head right into Ice Palace. All right, so that, I believe, was all of the items. So that's left side has either the key and then the all 3 dungeon items, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the 3 dungeon items are contained between the big chest and the left side.
That is unbelievable.
The Dream Swamp, and it never happens unless you do maybe decide to do that left side early play to find the legendary Swamp Compass map.
Okay, so EDM informed us we did see the map, so the dream is dead. So there's still 1 item over there, but still, that's not bad.
Yeah, and there's no chance he's going back in for that. He is going towards the village. We'll see if he does make the play back over towards the ice, but it's still a bit early for that, I think.
Sure.
Kohrek with the swag hammer dash through the pot.
And we got a fire rod. Old Stumpy trying to burn down this forest, gives it away.
That seems like a dangerous combination.
So that's actually going to make SAGTG's routing even nicer.
Yeah, this is breaking very favorably for him. Gonna go up through the village, right up into Skullwoods. Kohrek's already double dipped Skullwoods. This is the advantage is changing.
Nice quick dig. Only yielded us 20 rupees, but at least it was short. So for anyone just joining us, we are doing a standard Uncle Assured all dungeon seed here. This is the Lake Hylia Division play finals between the Team 4K 4th and Forehead and SAGTG's Titan Smiths. The Titans Myths are down 1 game right now, the best of 5 series. But some strong plays from SAGTG attempting to bring them back. You know, I hate doing the Smith chain, but when you got the boots, you got the... Oh, we got our map check. And it was a quick one. All I saw was one of the 5-6 at Thieves Town.
My eyes were drawn there as well.
Looks like we had a Pendant and Ice Palace as well, according to chat. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, with this Smith chain check makes total sense. You can just clear out this whole area in one foul swoop. You have the powder, you have the mitts, good routing. And he's looking like he might just be leaving some of it behind.
Yeah, I'd be tempted to turn in the purple chest because we have everything we need to make it quick. But GTG says, you know what? I don't even care about Village of Outcasts right now. I'm going right to Thieves Town, and I love it.
This is why we're commentating and not racing, my friend.
Right.
It's a really aggressive play. We'll see if it ends up hurting him or helping.
Yeah, I imagine afterwards, if he doesn't find some sort of progression, he might do the Village of Outcasts checks. But I love just going straight into the dungeon.
Yeah, and the other consideration is, like, he knows he can get into ice, he knows he can full cure Skull Woods. It doesn't take a lot of time with mitts, flute, and boots to get back to Village, too.
Yep. And nice Master Sword, I guess, so far from Kohrek there.
Unfortunately, they don't have any weapon to make this last phase any better, but...
Yeah, 4 spins, takes him down. Gotta do what you gotta do.
And Kohrek gets his blue cane and his first crystal.
Alright, so he did pick up his Bombus Medallion. Let's see if he makes the aggressive play to go to Ice Palace. Looks like he's not. It's good, because we know where the Fire Rod is.
Yeah, that always feels bad when you make that Ice Palace play and end up finding the Fire Rod somewhere free right after you leave.
So I imagine Kohrek going to make a lot of the same checks here that SAGTG is making. The Kohrek is just going to be really thorough in all of his checks. We'll see if that ends up costing him more time. Like, we don't know the way GTG's routing. We don't know if he's going to do like Graveyard Ledge or Catfish, and those could end up saving him some time.
Yeah, it's an interesting, almost battle of strategies. Extremely efficient, thorough routing versus more aggressive, item-based routing, it seems. Not that Kohrek isn't going where the items are telling him, but he's not leaving anything in his wake.
Right. And I don't think SAGTG is going to necessarily skip everything, but, you know, a lot of times you see the runners pick up the Village of Outcast items, or at least the ones along the way to the front of Thieves Town, and then go to Thieves Town.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, you only got to beat the dungeons. You don't have to clear the overworld, right? So any of those spots you can skip can gain you some...
Alright, so Thieves Town not yielding us much. And if I'm reading chat correctly, all 4 chests items were bombs.
That's why I couldn't remember what was in a single one of them. You'll notice that I live in the moment, and once I've found something, the location it was might as well not exist to me.
Nice blind fight from SAGTG.
Very well done. Oh, nice big 20 to end the dungeon.
So what GTG may be doing here is Thieves Town, Village of Outcasts, Purple Chest, and then into Skull Woods. That would be my guess.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, he might like be thinking about just doing crystal dungeons at this point too, because I mean, I know it's all dungeons. He can clear out here. He can clear out Skull Woods. He can clear out Ice Palace, which isn't a crystal. But yeah, it's interesting to see what he does. And you're right, he is going to.
Yeah, it'd be pretty aggressive not to check these four locations. All right, Magic Bat, just a heart container. We got the shovel from the chess game, though.
Yeah,
So
that's
more
great to find after you've cleared that area.
Right. So yeah, we're looking for the bow. We are looking for the ice rod. That's about it, right?
Yeah. Oh, maybe some sort of sword, silver arrows to make the combat in Ganon's tower go faster. You know, that's basic.
SAGTG thought about doing the front first. I've got the fire rod. Let's just go right to the back. Skipping the purple chest, which was half magic. So something decent at least.
Yeah, I'm sure he won't be too mad about skipping that if he never ends up checking it.
Kohrek has been pretty vigilant about skipping out on Village of Outcasts in Thieves Town, making his way to Dark Death Mountain. We got 5-6 at Turtle Rock, so that was our other 5-6. Thieves Town was the other 5-6. And he's going to give us our first look at, we've got Super Bunny Cave, we've got Hookshot Cave. We'll find out which medallion we need for Turtle Rock, which doesn't matter since we've got all three. Can even route in Spike Cave here as well.
And I'm sure Kohrek will probably go back and clear off Tower of Hair and get his Cane of Samaria at this time.
Yeah, which means there's Ice Rod in Turtle Rock. Has anyone ever heard of that?
I love the idea. If it's not there, you're going to be saving that portal a lot of times.
Yeah. No, it's a super risky play, but I'm just saying.
Hey, he's
Don't
checked
be
most
surprised.
and he's checked most of the Mire spots already, which is basically my number one consideration when I'm making that early Turtle Rock deck. It's all about that sweet, sweet, sweet Mire protection techniques in this game.
Yeah. I mean, we have access to clear Misery Mire as well. We've got access to clear Desert. We really need that bow, which has probably just been sitting in Eastern Palace this whole time, I guess.
Please not.
Nice moth fight from SAGTG.
Very
Kohrek
clean,
gonna pick up his Cane of Samaria.
taking advantage of that Fire Rod and Master Sword. Very clean, but
Alright, coffee break time for Kohrek.
yeah, this is nice. Maybe he engineered this because he figured 45 minutes in, maybe I'll need to refill my...
Yeah. So did Moth have the second item?
I missed it. Either that or I saw it and it was something unspectacular, and I might as well not see it when that happened.
Okay, Moth had the big key. There we go.
That was it. I did see it.
Kohrek doesn't believe in coffee breaks, I guess. Alright, so there's our second item, 300 rupees. Able to skip out in the front. Let's see where he's going to go now.
Maybe looking like he might check the Graveyard Ledge area and probably maybe King's Tomb while he's at it.
Yeah, it looks like he hasn't done the
Bonk Rocks either, it looks like.
yeah, the boots checks yet. Opportunity to get him some more fetch quests that yield him nothing, basically.
The only nice thing about that for him, he has that bottle and he might be able to avail himself of the witch's wares while he's there if he so chooses.
Sure.
It's down to this, isn't it? Bow and Ice Rod, who could have guessed?
Kohrek forgot about the Samaria, just the same as I did. Checks the big chest. Now realizing he already got both items. Alright, aggressive. SAGTG is being aggressive. Not skipping King's Tomb. Or not checking King's Tomb. Not checking Graveyard Ledge. Checks out Mire. Sees that we need Quake. Gonna check out Mire Shed. Fully completable. We just need that bow. We just need that ice rod. And we're in go mode. Which, as soon as we find that... Woo! Well... 1 of 2.
That's a very nice spot to find that, and now we're all thinking, why can't this seed come up when I'm running it? And,
right.
Where is the bow going to pop up?
Yeah. Bow... where do you think the bow is? I mean, feels like a bow in Turtle Rock sort of area, right?
Yeah, like I think it's either in Turtle Rock or it's in Mire would be my guess. Maybe the low-key candidate for a terrible spot would be Ice Palace, but I wouldn't be surprised if GTG doesn't check a single overworld spot for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, all dungeons basically. Just go hit all of the dungeons in an all dungeon seed.
And within reason, of course. He might
Sure.
check like something like Checkerboard Cave before he leaves this area.
Yeah, but you get a clear desert, you get the green pendant. He hasn't done Sasha's Closet yet. You know, bow could be so many places.
Yeah, the worst thing for these runners, of course, I think, is if it's in either Eastern or Pod, because you can't imagine either one making that play before it becomes pretty ugly.
Right. Not when you have all of this open to you.
I mean, but let's be honest, we're just filling time until he picks it up on Laser Bridge at this point. So.
Right.
Be interesting to see if he just goes straight there after this, and I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't even check things like Hookshot.
Yeah, I mean, you're one item away from go mode. I mean, you've only got Master Sword, but I don't think, you know, these runners are good. They're not going to be worrying about that.
Yeah, they're both probably figuring, hey, I'll run into a Master Sword at some point in this game.
Right.
And by Master Sword, I mean Tempered Sword. Yeah, there's some nice items. Obviously, I think you probably keep checking convenient chests until you run into the Silver Arrows or the Tempered Sword, because that's just a fight nobody really enjoys doing. And
Sure.
if you do, what's wrong with you? And but other than that, these runners, you know, might like to run into a red. This has been a pretty stacked seed.
Yeah, and there's, you know, always a strong possibility of finding either Silver Arrows or a sword in Ganon's Tower, so. Nice Landmo fight from SAGTG. I need to keep track of the items a little better. I'm not sure if there's one in the big chest or not.
We'll find out in a minute.
So there's a green pendant for SAGTG. Meanwhile, Kohrek going to pick up their third crystal here.
And Kohrek nicely hitting that Gibdo into that spike.
All right, so there was. He thought he miscounted, hit the mirror spot, and realized, oh no, I can't leave that one item here.
Yeah, I wonder if he was just trying to route super aggressively and just had like this is silly.
Of course, got to be careful. Alright, just 10 arrows. Not the best fight from Kohrek there on Mothula, but able to take him down without taking a death, so got to be happy about that.
Yeah, mixed emotions after that fight, but the underlying emotion is I didn't die.
Yeah, you saw a couple sword slashes there, like, ugh, just got away from me a bit. Alright, not checkerboard cave. And SAGTG choosing not to do Mire. Unless it was Bombos. Is that what he's doing? Is he picking up Bombos? I was pretty sure it was Quake.
I thought I saw Quake as well, but
And Kohrek didn't check Turtle Rock because he had all 3 medallions anyways. So we're not sure which one that is.
SAGTG is definitely acting like it was Bombo.
Yeah, I guess.
Either that or he's maybe planning on going into Ice Palace and just wanted to pick that up. He's fluting back, it looks like.
And looks like he's going to go turn in his mushroom. Going to get some safeties. This makes sense. Going into Mire. You know, you don't even have 10 hearts yet. Still on green mail. Don't have temper. Don't have a bow. You know, Vitreous is not the most fun boss fight.
Yeah, they don't even have the cape, so they can do some Burna strats, which is not great with the Master.
And saved and quit. Not sure why he saved and quit out of there.
He's just keeping us on our toes and going to Turtle Rock.
Okay, yeah, I like it. I actually like doing Turtle Rock before Mire. I find it, you know, Trinex is a little easier with the equipment that he has here.
Yeah, and I also like it because when you're thinking about dungeon clearing, Turtle Rock is a dungeon that basically takes you about the same amount of time, or it's much less variable than Mire is, whereas if you can go mode Mire and you get that nice God Mire, you can save a lot of time over your opponent who's full.
Yeah, and that makes also picking up Bombos make a lot more sense, is now he doesn't have to worry about if Turtle Rock is Bombos or not.
Exactly. Hedged his bets, made sure he got in on his first trip up here.
Meanwhile, Kohrek gonna pick up his stash of bombs here in Thieves Town and get another crystal. And it was Ether. So while he did pick up the Bombos medallion, you know, hedging your bets, would hate to have to go back to get that Bombos medallion in case it was there. So
yeah, it's also not terrible because if he does end up having to do Ice Palace without finding another sword, it's always nice to have that Bombos medallion. And having picked it up there, he won't have to go into the Dark World to pick it up on the way to Ice Palace, or even think about whether he wants to do that.
Sure.
So he is going to check the East Dark Death Mountain before he engages with Turtle Rock, it looks like.
Yeah, having a Tempered Sword, making your way through Turtle Rock with the Tempered Sword is always more convenient than that Master Sword.
And if he does find the bow, it is faster to go mode Turtle Rock, even though I just said it's not much faster. It is still fast.
Yeah. As long as you get that GT, or the big key, excuse me, the Turtle Rock big key early.
No vanilla.
Kohrek trying to set up the God Pixel for the Hellway. Not quite getting it.
Really earning its name today for Kohrek.
The always helpful hint of cash requires the hammer.
I feel like every time I see that hint, it's like the game is secretly telling me go out to rob a bank or something.
All right, so GTG gonna give us our first look at Turtle Rock. He gets a hint for Zelda 1. Unfortunately, we are playing Zelda 3. Are you feeling a bow in Turtle Rock right now?
Oh, heck yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if it weren't there because, I mean, nothing that could happen in this game will surprise me anymore, but it really seems like the game is sort of pushing you towards Turtle Rock, and mind you, they have all the items, so that's kind of just the fact that they don't have many dungeons left to clear that don't require the bow, but I would be surprised if it's not in here, yes.
Bow's gonna be vanilla. Seed's been way too nice.
That would be typical, it seems.
Alright, so just a couple of keys, and there's that big key. So if we were go moding, we would be able to skip a chest there, but we are not yet quite in go mode. Alright, we've got blind for Kohrek here. So far on script. And a nice blind fight. Gets a big 20, and that's his 4th crystal of the game.
And GTG just finding the compass in the chain chomp chest, so back we go further for all 5 items still in Turtle.
So I imagine Kohrek is going to make his way towards the Mire area sooner rather than later as well.
It does seem likely. I think he might be going to check the shovel right now.
Yeah, he has not left any fetch quest unturned. An unfortunate key there in the vanilla key, big key spot.
Yeah, that can throw a little monkey wrench in your go mode TR dreams if you're unlucky on the next keys location.
Yeah. So Kohrek going to be making a play for, I'm guessing Mire here, picking up that blue potion.
Nice call. Like Desert first, we'll see.
Yeah, I imagine so.
We did not get a hint about Mimic Cave as best as I can recall this.
No, I don't think so. Usually pretty efficient to check that big key chest first.
Yeah, if you're missing one item, I think that is the optimal strategy for sure. And I have actually seen it work once in a tournament race where that was the go mode item and they skipped Mimic Cave.
Ooh, a tempered sword. That's nice.
Definitely don't want to be skipping Mimic Cave in this seed.
So if you're just joining us, we are doing a all dungeons standard Uncle Assured normal seed here in the Game 2 Lake Hylia Division Finals. And SCGTG has up a dungeon and a half right now because he's skipped a lot of overroll checks. And Kohrek has been very thorough in his checks, making checks, very efficient routing, but just very thorough. And it hasn't really yielded him anything. And that's really been the difference in this race so far.
That's basically exactly right. They've had some little divergence in the Dark World openings based on Kohrek finding the hammer a little bit earlier in Agina's cave, which is always great. And but then SAGTG did some much more aggressive routing into the Dark World, finding a lot of progression items before Kohrek, and seems to have maintained this lead. Of course, everything comes down to where that bow location is.
Yeah. And we're coming up to Laser Bridge, which seems like a very likely spot for the bow, just, you know, because reasons.
Because laser bridge. Is that the last item? Was that why he was swiping? Nope. 2 items left, it looks like.
Alright, so we're not going to get the bow out of... Oh, there is still 1 item on Trinex. But coming here has paid off because he was able to pick up that Tempered Sword in Mimic Cave.
It's very nice. And he hadn't cleared any of Dark Death Mountain yet on his trip up here, so that's a trip up the mountain he has on Kohrek.
Yeah, nice Lambo fight from Kohrek there as well, be able to use half magic.
Boss fight after boss fight, and SAGTG going for the reverse strats on Trinex with Tempered Sword.
So he gets the 1 cycle. Nice fight from SAGTG here. Real convenient for him picking up that Tempered Sword in Mimic Cave for this fight.
Yeah, I mean, all the racers at this level are not necessarily concerned about doing a hammer Trinex fight, but it certainly goes a lot faster with the Tempered Sword, and what a surprise we have.
Frost, can you hear the surprise in my voice right now? It's very surprised.
Hollywood's going to be knocking down your door tomorrow because of your acting skills, buddy.
I am shocked. I cannot believe that we just found Go Mode Bow in Turtle Rock.
I'm a little bit surprised that it was in fact on Trinex and actually required the Ice Rod to obtain, which is not necessarily terrible based on where it was in this seed, but terrible in a logical sense in my opinion.
Yeah. All right, so for Kohrk's sake, let's hope he makes that same play and heads up to Turtle Rock. And, oh, unfortunately for him, it looks like he's going to be heading over to Eastern. No, he's going to turn in that green pendant. That makes sense.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does after that, because you're right, he does have to make that Turtle Rock play basically immediately.
Yeah, Chad, this is all dungeons. And the green pendant, we turn in, we get Sasha's medicine.
I mean, it's not the worst thing you could find there, but yeah, he's not too pleased about it, looking at those flashes, or maybe he's just keeping some time to the beats as he's waiting for the duck to show.
All right, this is good for Kohrek. Kohrek is behind. He's definitely going to have to figure out a way to make up some time, which I'm not sure where he's going to be able to do it. He is down a dungeon and has cleared a lot more of the overworld than SAGTG. GTG is not going to open up any more chests. He does not care about those silvers. He is going to finish this race as fast as he can now, especially because he's got that Tempered Sword. So,
yeah, exactly. And he still has to clear Eastern and Pod, and I mean, there's a reasonable chance you're going to run into them there because you have to find those big keys in those dungeons anyway. And of course, Ganon's Tower.
Yep.
Be interesting to see if he just like skips the Freezor chest, because that is a very quick check, and it'll show you how go mode he is gonna. Nice execution on the bomb jump as Kohrek opens Turtle Rock.
So we're in an all dungeon seed, and SAGTG gets to go mode 4 dungeons, including, I mean, you don't really go mode Aga Tower, but you do.
Yeah, it's nice to do it after GT. It's nice to, frankly, not have to look for your last pendant dungeon item in GT in one of these.
Very fast Ice Palace from SAGTG.
There are a few better feelings than go-moding Ice Palace.
Yeah, I can't think of very many right now that I could talk about on this broadcast. Having a little bit of trouble with Cold Star there, but has that blue potion.
Playing it very cautious. I do not blame him one. Cold Star is probably the worst boss you can die on in this game. Playing a little ring around the rosy with a pendant, but he eventually got it and moves one dungeon closer to the end.
Man, he has not stepped a foot in this eastern area at all. So this is SAGTG's first time heading over here. Never checked Sasha's closet, never made a dip to eastern, never went through pod. So
yeah, very, very smart routing choice as it turns out in the seed. And mind you, Kohrek's only been to Sasha's closet twice. He hasn't actually dipped into either of the dungeons.
Oh, that's true. But he has made a trip over here 2 times. You know, this is all dungeons, and he is 3 dungeons away from being complete here. This is so fast.
Yeah, this is going to end up being an incredibly fast.
You know, you and I race a lot, Frostbite. When are we going to get one of these seeds?
The problem is I get this seed, and it's a Ganon goal, and I end up in Pendant Ice Palace for no reason whatsoever, because I just can't believe that these seeds even exist anymore. That's my problem. But it just shows. Sometimes the thorough routing ends up getting really rewarded by finding a lot of items in terrible spots, and then every once in a blue moon this happens, and it seems like everything was sort of in the...
Yeah, and it just goes to show you how important your routing is, and how much you're willing to, you know, take some risks. You know, it looked kind of bleak really early for SAGTG skipping out on that hammer and Aga. You know, you can't do too many checks without getting that check. But you'd hate to last location that hammer, you know?
Yeah, in retrospect, finding the flute really helped him out. Not that he would have been able to check too many more things before he would have had to slink back there for that hammer, but it did keep him out of the eastern.
Yeah. All right, Kohrek with his Master Sword.
And of course, it goes without saying as we're watching these runners that their execution has been fairly great throughout the race.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's... without a doubt, both of these runners are really, really good. So GTG just looking for the pod big key. I don't think he's found it quite yet. And really hoping to find it here on the right side. Not that fortunate, though, so he's going to have to make his way to the back at least a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting. That key layout basically means the dungeon is both to some extent. Not that it matters for these runners in this speed, but...
All right, so laser bridge coming up for Kohrek.
And I'm sure SA will be a little bit more pleased with his routing in this race than he maybe was or I was in our race that happened a couple days ago. In pod specifically, I'm referring to.
Sure, yeah, leaving that bow in pod is always fun. Well, there's the book, in case we had any time to read.
You know, maybe they'll have to do tile room and the game's just saying, hey, you're going to need a little reading material while you're down.
Yeah. Alright, so we've got our big key there.
Not a bad spot for it at all.
Yeah, not having to go into the dark maze, always nice.
Yeah, better than it would have been better in the front, but not
Sure.
bad. Better than in the maze or in the basement. Meanwhile, Kohrek is just cleaning up Trinex. Very clean first cycle. Gets the one cycle as well from the front side.
Takes a little bonk, but is able to cover really quick and gets a nice kill there on Trinex. Gonna get his bow, and at 1:10:44, Kohrek is in go mode. So, how far behind is Kohrek? Well, he's about 2 dungeons behind because he still has to go to Ice Palace. You do get to go mode it, but you know he's not going to make up any time on GTG because GTG, just executed really well and was able to go mode that dungeon as well.
Yeah, there's maybe some marginal second frames and whatnot, but no major errors to gain some time back.
But it looks like he's going to do Pod Eastern first, which, it doesn't really matter at this point. You're go moding all of these dungeons. But he is just about 2 dungeons behind.
And GTG using the sword hammer strats against Talmasaur. In a fairly clean fight. And lo and behold, there they are, the silver arrows. Now he's definitely not checking anything anymore.
Yeah. I mean, this seed. What is this seed?
Yeah, this is I might do a steal of the seed, put it in my good seeds folder, wait 2 months and run it back myself when I'm feeling a little down.
Alright, so where is the Eastern Palace big key going to be? Is it going to be vanilla? Or are we going to go mode a little bit of this dungeon as well?
Yeah. All the unique items in the way, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe the cape is the only thing we're missing at this point.
Yeah, we saw powder. Have we seen the blue boomerang?
I do not think we have. So that red boomerang, not actually the worst thing, can help you out in Ganon's Tower a few frames. It's actually it's a low-key menu help having a boomerang in that.
Yeah. And able to find the big key before even the big key chest, which is always nice. Makes this nice and nice and quick.
Skip that vanilla key chest that no one likes to check out. Meanwhile, Kohrek is going to be making his way back into his Helmasaur fight shortly. Oh, he's just heading in the back right now. My bad.
Yeah, I still need to pick up that key. And apparently we missed the blue boomerang in Pod here. So I think just a couple of bottles is what we're missing. but all the uniques.
Yeah, the armor's upgrades have been few and far between.
Yeah, probably Ice or GT. And a nice silver Armos Knights is always convenient.
It's got to be one of the best feeling fights in the game.
Dungeon number 9 for GTG here. So if you're with these runners, how are you feeling? If you know, GTG is probably feeling pretty good, but I imagine Kohrek is actually feeling pretty good as well.
Yeah, I can't imagine either of them feel too bad. I mean, I never truly feel good when I'm running, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm always assuming my opponent is god routing, and every mistake I make is multiplied in my brain. But they both probably feel like they're in.
Yeah, you know, I'm thinking Kohrek, you know, making the checks like Catfish, and he did all of the fetch quests. This probably makes him feel a little bit more behind, but you know what's funny is when GTG was here in Mire originally, we didn't have the bow, didn't have tempered. Now we've got silvers and tempered, and it makes Mire just 100% different.
Yeah, it's basically free with this laid out at this point for these runners.
So we're going to get the famed God Mire here.
I'm a fan of Mire routing, so I hope not.
All right, first just a key.
Meanwhile, Kohrek taking on Helmut, or he's choosing to use the free-flowing hammer strats, which is my personal preference.
Yeah, and it is a God Mire.
Very nice for these runners.
Man, what a convenient seed. Like, you cannot complain about this one.
It's too convenient in my mind.
All right, down goes...
I can complain about any seed, period.
Sure, that's true. I have played a lot with you, and I've heard it all. All right, silvers and another crystal there, crystal there for Kohrek. And I guess we should talk about the big key guessing game here in a minute. Yeah. I accidentally got Revolving Oscillate to start it a little too early. That wasn't my goal.
But no, we'll just hope we have a unique winner this time.
That's right. All right, so once a nice spooky action glitch from SAGTG here. This is going to be really fast. So, ooh, it gets hit though. And okay, so once he completes Vitreous and gets this crystal here, we're going to be heading to Ganon's Tower. We're going to play the big key guessing game. There are 22 different locations where the Ganon's Tower big key can be. And once we start the bot, once you see the exclamation start, go ahead and get your guesses in chat. And the winner of the game will be added to our leaderboard if you are a sub or supporter. They've donated 250 bits. And if you're the closest, you can get added to our leaderboard. And the current leader on our leaderboard would be me.
Obligatory rigged.
All right, so the game has started. Get your guesses in. If you want to get on the leaderboard, make sure you're a sub, or throw in 250 bits to one of the speed gaming channels, and you can be added. Frostbite, buddy, what do you like to guess?
I always pick 16 because it's my favorite number.
All right, so in this tournament, I'm going to give it away. I either guessed 9 or 11. And I've been going with a lot of 9s. That's what I'm going to go with again today. See if I can get that 8th win here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, given how quickly SAGTG is going to Ganon's Tower, whether that affects his routing. I'm not particularly familiar with what his preferences are in Ganon's Tower, so let's...
Yeah, we'll see if he goes right, gets a key, goes full right, or if he's going to do Dark Magician. I imagine he does the pretty standard routing of going to Hope Room first, but we'll see. Make sure you get your guesses in. He will be getting against Tower here pretty shortly, and we'll stop the bot.
Yeah, I might be considering Dark Magician in this seed just in case. I don't want to get like taken over by someone who does it and gets the compass room by going Hope. If you don't get a key, you kind of get into a little bit of trouble with that routing, but it's certainly an understandable choice.
Sure. All right, there is dungeon number 8 for Kohrek. Fortunately, just too far behind in this one.
And of course, given this seed, it's going to be in the first chest that SAGTG checks.
Oh, 100%.
Tower, right?
Oh, 100%. All right, and we will stop at the guesses. And we are going to see Dark Magician. At least partial Dark Magician. I like it. Number 1, 300 rupees.
Yeah, I didn't used to be a fan of this strat until I kept getting beat by people who were using this strat.
Yeah.
There's no comment on the deltas in those races and whether or not the strat had an effect.
All right, number 2, 20 rupees. Number 3, piece of heart. Number 4, got some bombs. Number 5, a small key. And not seeing Dark Magician strats. He's going full left.
Yeah. This
okay,
will be interesting.
I think he did this in his last race as well, where you go all the way to Rando Room and then mirror out and go full right.
Yeah, I was at the Randomizer race. I like that in Randomizer just because who wants to go to the ice boss in that, but it's a little stranger in a standard seed, but hey, if it works, it works.
Sure.
But I suspect you're right. I doubt he'll be going all the way to Ice Armos, but who...
No, he's going to mirror out of Rando Room if he doesn't find it before then, and then head right. It's something I saw Act the Boker do, which actually helped him win his race.
Yeah, that was also against me. Thank you for pointing.
Right. Yeah, that was the extra match. All right, number 7, Buttersword.
Well, the Ganon fight just got even easier.
Yeah, I mean, this seed, is this seed free or what? Yeah, number 8, 20 rupees. Number 9, not the big key. Number 10, a small key. And there's the mirror. Is that number 11? Let me double check. That is number 11. Let's see who we've got as a winner here. Well, look at that.
This is a travesty for all things honest, and no, I'm kidding. Good job. The reality is that Fear Agent watches a lot of these races, and he's eligible for...
All right, let's make sure we save that to the leaderboard there, and I get my 8th win. Now, look, I was 2 away, so that just shows if you want to stop me from winning, get those subs or supports in.
And pick 9 through 11, I guess, right?
Right. What are the 2 numbers I suggested before we started this?
A really nicely executed cold stare fight by Kohrek there.
All right, let's get back to what's important here. My 8 wins. No, I'm kidding. We got the Gauntlet for SAGTG. We've got Buttersword. We've got Silver Arrows. Should be cake for our runners here, especially at this level of execution and talent.
A really clean Gauntlet 3 by GTG. The only issue he's got is those 5 Silver Arrows, but of course we know there's some more that he can pick.
Yeah.
Because it is a strange feeling when you aren't paying attention to that, and then it starts making the "you have no magic" sound when you're fighting Ganon, and you have no idea why.
Great Lambo too with those Silver Arrows. Let's see, he'll pick up some more Silver Arrows right here in this room. Kohrek heading to Mire, gonna be finding that it's a God Mire, so that'll be good for him. These are my favorite rooms in Ganon's Tower here.
I completely agree, unless I don't have the boost, then that bridge room can be a bit of annoyance, and I have a personal grudge against that room from some of my racing. This torch room is my least favorite room in the game, in fact.
Why is that?
Because I'm terrible at it. I'll fall off the edge and then miss one of the torches, and there's a reason why in one of my Discord channels I have the torch room specialist.
Nice. Nice Wizro room from Kohrek there.
Very nicely done. I am jealous of that strategy because I could never pull it off.
Just gotta kill one of these Helmosaurs here, grab the second key, and SAGTG is off. Big key for Kohrek there, and on his way to Vidi. No wasting time for SAGTG. He's got everything he could imagine. Two slashes. Moldorm 2 here, and he is down.
That was a very nice slash on the third one. I have no idea how it hit it, but I wouldn't complain if I was him. Uninterested in Moldorm's last possession.
Yeah, he's got everything he needs. He doesn't need one more item. Get a little spooky action from Kohrek here on the left side as SAGTG is ready to face Aga 2. And remember, this is all dungeons, which means before he drops in again, he will have to go beat Aga 1 as well.
The best part of every all dungeons seed.
We got, yeah, always fun. Got a double, then a single, another double. That was nice. And finishes off.
Was that a 4 cycle? I'd never complain about that. He seems to be a little bit frustrated he didn't get the 3 cycle, but we know it's not going to make a difference at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, 2-1, 2-1. Can't complain about that. All right, we got the bat making a hole for us, but do not drop down.
Yeah, you only make that mistake occasionally. Although the Aga 2 post Ganon's Tower with butter and silvers is actually quite a fun run to do. As
yeah, it's a treat actually because it's so easy.
This is payback for all those 3-heart inverted Aga Towers I had to.
All right, Kohrek's got all 10 of his dungeons completed and making his way to Ganon's Tower now. Key number 1 for SAGTG, or key number 2 actually here in Aga Tower. You know, this just shows you how well SAGTG routed this thing. Kohrek did nothing wrong in this seed. He played it really, really well. You know, execution, no untimely deaths, really efficient, good routing. It just wasn't enough today.
Yeah, it was. It really came down to some choices made after the Dark World, and basically SA sort of skipping a lot of not so great out of the way spots that Kohrek checked really efficiently with some great routing. And if something had been there, we'd be singing a totally different tune at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, bow at Catfish, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
But GTG just decided, you know, I've got all these dungeons open. Why waste my time doing overworld checks? Let's clear out these dungeons, and then was able to go mode 4. So, you know, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, they both made the choice to avoid Mire, but that was really good for GTG, going for that swag hook dash in the pre-Aga Tower room.
Yeah, that was nice. All right, Kohrek head full left. Let's see if he does Dark Magician today. Frostbite, how many blue balls are we going to see today? I'm going to guess 3. The standard 3.
I'm pretty sure I said 3, but I didn't actively engage my mic.
Okay. Alright, there's 1. And it is Dark Magician for Kohrek. There's 2 on GTG side. So it's going to cost him a little bit of time there.
Yeah, let's just hope he doesn't go full Dark Magician and does bail out after the conference room for his...
Aga being pretty kind so far. There is 3.
It's pretty on brand for the seat.
Yeah.
That
we
is
called
that.
it.
Time for the Ganon fight. Again, another boss fight. Don't blink or you'll miss.
Yeah. You got 6 slashes with the butter sword in phase 1, 6 slashes in phase 2, 4 in phase 3, and then we got the silver arrows for phase 4. So this is going to be quick.
And it basically removes all the danger from even a green male fight with this gold sword and silver arrow. You'll derp yourself off the edge once in a while, but very infrequently.
Alright, so Kohrek not doing full Dark Magician, just hitting the right side. We'll be coming on his big key here shortly. And GTG already into phase 3.
Even the Ganon teleports.
Yeah, those very few.
I think it might
We
have
find
been
our
1.
silver arrows. Ooh, gets a nice double. Misses the slash. Set up another double. He does. Great fight from SAGTG. Get your GGs in chat.
Very good fight. Excellent play all around from SAGTG. Awesome result. GG. Evening the series up with Team 4K 4th and 4 head for the Titans.
And SAGTG finishes officially in first place with a SRL time of 132.45. GG's to him. And the Titans Mitts even up this series 1-1.
That is a blazing fast all dungeons time.
Yes, it is. All right, Kohrek picking up his big Ganon Tower big key now, making his way north up the tower. See if we can get GTG in here. And there he is. SAGTG. GG's, buddy. What do you think of that seed, man?
I was actually like really nervous the whole end game because I was just thinking, okay, this seed was just super free, and so obviously this is going to come down to just little tiny bits of execution differences, and I guess I was just a bit more aggressive than Kohrek looking at those results.
Yeah, awesome job, SAGTG. That basically, you summed it up in that one sentence. Kohrek played really well, but he checked a couple of more overworld spots than you did, and I think you made the play into Hype Cave, whereas he went into the village, so you ended up with the myths and swamp before he did, and you basically nailed it from that point on and executed really well as well, so awesome job.
Thanks. My reason for just kind of going for it, so to speak, was with us being down one game after this afternoon, I had the feeling of if I play a really aggressive game against Kohrek, someone who's pretty much on the level with me execution-wise, that's probably not going to pull out the win, so I'm just going to take some risks and hope they work out. And this time they happen to.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was risks as much as you just went I'm going to go dungeons and clear those out and not do a lot of the out of the way checks like Graveyard Ledge, or even you didn't get taken by any of the fetch quests. And Kohrek did all of them. He did powder, mushroom, shovel. So just you routed it really, really well. So it's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even call it risk. A lot of it was aggressive routing, but like by leaving sort of chunks items, it makes it so that if you do have to go back to them, it's not the end of the world. Like isolating 4 or 5.
Yeah, that was definitely on my mind. That if I'm going to do that, then at least there's that. But my thinking was I'm going to focus on dungeons, and then once I was just in need of the bow, I thought I'm going to go to TR, and then I'm going to open up the pyramid. And if that doesn't work out, I'll decide from there. I would say for me, the biggest thing that I feel like really saved my bacon, so to speak, was finding the mitts in Swamp Palace, because if I had not found it there, I probably would have gone straight into Ice Palace and Full Clear to also get those hints, and that would have wasted a lot of time for me.
Yeah, we were curious on where to go, where you were going to go right after Swamp, because that Bombus medallion is just sitting there, sort of calling your name, and you got mitts and access to it. So, fortunately for you, didn't make that call, and Kohrek was able to avoid it as well.
Yeah, it was a very interesting start to the race because Kohrek actually made the early Agena play and had the hammer, and it looked a little bit rough for you at the start. But once you found that hammer, I think the fact that you had the flute activated already, whereas he was activating his flute in Kakariko Village, sort of had a subtle effect on the way the game was routed, because that caused him to go up through Skullwoods and over to Catfish, where you basically just did like we always joke about and went right to the progression.
Yeah, that'll definitely do it. I actually thought about walking over to Agena, but for whatever reason, I just decided, nah. And I gotta say, I do feel like I was bailed out by that flute, that's for sure.
Yeah, we did mention that the flute was quite helpful for you in that instance. I mean, the way it broke, I think it would have saved you from a Sasha and Eastern play, which I don't think you ever did make it into the old man's house at all in this game. But no, it definitely saved you from that and led to some great routing, at least opportunities that you really took advantage of through the mid game and through the end game, and your execution was excellent to boot.
Oh, thank you. Definitely appreciate that compliment there.
Hey man, you smoked me out in the last round. I gotta be complimentary towards you, right?
I suppose so, or you just look for little things to nitpick.
I'm more of the guy that wants to lose to the guy that wins, not the guy that is salty about it. Not that I was cheering for you over Kohrek. I really like both of you guys. But no, this is a fun race to watch.
Yeah, that definitely was a very fun seed. No complaints about it at all, for sure.
I got 2 down for Kohrek, so he just has Aga Tower now to climb, and then the big pig for him as well. That's it, GTG. So here we are in the Lake Hylia Division Finals. How you feeling about everything now, even in an up 1-1?
It definitely feels pretty good to have pulled it back to even. I'm going to be interested in seeing Dante and Act Brokers race Tuesday. That could definitely have influence on our strategy going into Game 4 and potentially 5, depending on how it goes.
Yeah, with this win, we're now guaranteed at least a Game 4. Have you guys, you don't have to tell us your plans or anything, but have you guys discussed on the possibilities of who plays Games 4 and 5?
Not 100% sure on that. I think that's going to be one of those things where we're going to want to see how Game 3 pans out first and then make a decision based on that.
Sure. And how you feel about, just the playoffs and the league in general? Got to be happy to have made it this far so far?
Yeah, definitely. Just going in, it was this feeling of, hey, it would be really cool if we could manage to make playoffs or at least get close. And now we're here in the division finals, and at least playing a pretty back and forth even set of matches so far. So it's very exciting, and we're just as a team we're really hyped.
You put on a great show for us today.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking forward to going back and watching this one. I want to see how everything looked for Kohrek on his end. And I gotta say, just in general, like I really like the Twitch chat community for ALTTPR. So it's always fun going back and watching races, or even watching races live, and just seeing all the different theories and ideas that people put out. That can be quite illuminating.
I agree with you. It is interesting because they'll pick up things that like you never even thought about while you were running the race. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes somebody will call me out on some little mistake I made. I'll be like, oh, you know, I gotta watch out for that.
Yeah, that is nice. That is one of the hard parts of rewatching your races, though, is because it is easy to point out the little execution errors you have that basically most players have during their run to some extent, and that a lot of people don't even notice well.
Yeah, it didn't happen in this race, but one I have a bad tendency to do is if I'm going to save and quit with the Smith due to not having the mirror, sometimes I'll run back over to the Dark World portal and go in again and be like, oh, what the heck did I just...
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you're going to remember this, but let me ask you this. When we running through Escape in the beginning of the game, it didn't feel like you were farming for bombs very hard, and it almost felt like you lucked into a bomb drop there. What was your thinking there?
I have no idea why, but I think I had a little bit of caffeine jitters early on, so the first couple minutes I made a lot of little tiny mistakes, and I was just like, I don't feel like farming for bombs, I'm just going to make sure I don't accidentally die and totally embarrass myself here, I'm just going to keep going. And then when I got the 8-bomb drop, it was just, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you had some really close calls there. I think you had half a heart through a lot of the back of the escape, you know, running into those ropes and stuff. We were a little worried you were going to take a death there.
Yeah, that was definitely not my proudest moment, so I'm glad that the rest of the seed, both in terms of routing and execution, gave me a lot of chances to wipe that memory away.
Yeah.
That is a funny, subtle difference about the standard mode in like a match that matters for something. Because in open, you kind of can just get your jitters out while you're running through Kakariko Village, and if you accidentally open a chest a couple seconds slower because you missed it or whatever, it's not that big a deal. But the standard execution, as much as it's fairly free, it can go south on you pretty quick.
Yeah, just especially that one green guard in the hallway that just suddenly turned, and then the other one got in my way, and I think I was fighting the ball and chain big key guard, and the green guard ran over to help, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
That definitely happened.
All right, blink and you miss it. Kohrek is taken down Ganon. Get your GGs in chat for Kohrek, who finishes in second place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, 21 seconds. GGs to Kohrek and Team 4K fourth and forehead. Match now even 1-1. So we are guaranteed a game 4. See if we can talk to Kohrek here in a minute. GTG, any other thoughts or reminiscence on the seed overall?
I'll go ahead and cut out after I say this, but just want to say GG to Kohrek, and thank you for having me, and I'll be looking forward to seeing what happens in the rest of our game.
Cool.
And GG to you again.
All right, well, we wait to see if Kohrek is going to join us. Frostbite. That was fun.
It was a very fun match. Excellent to do the commentary with you, Fear Agent. It was a wonderful time. I'm looking forward to the upcoming matches in this playoffs. I mean, I would watch it anyways, but having been able to make it with our team and losing to the Titans, we have a little bit of a vested interest in them maybe winning. Not really, but you always want to lose to the championship. Not that I have anything against the wonderful members of the other team, and not that Axe sniped me in the tiebreaker by like 11 seconds or anything like that. But no, I'm really looking forward to these last matches. They're getting super hype. I'm looking forward to the matches to start in the next couple days across the pond in the Death Mountain division. And yeah, loving the league. Again, thanks to you for organizing all this. It wouldn't have happened without you. And it's going to be an awesome run down the stretch.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, the playoffs have just been spectacular. SAGTG was basically able to god wrap the seed, and you saw the difference in the time. But it was a really enjoyable watch, and well run by both runners. You can't complain about a 143-21 in an all dungeon seed.
No, it was an excellent run by Kohrek, and that's the thing about Randomizer. It's not NMG. And NMG, it's the same game every time, and it all comes down to execution. But that's why a lot of us play Randomizer, is because I'll never win an NMG race, but I've won some of these races because you're able to make some lucky calls and whatnot. And SAGTG made some calls that ended up, you could call them being lucky or not, but most of them were pretty good percentage plays. And Kohrek made a lot of really good conservative more plays and did some more full clearing with some really efficient routing, and it just didn't pay off in this seed.
Yeah. Yeah, it just, that's the way it goes. So make sure you give both of them a follow. We'll put the links here in chat for you guys. They both put on a great show, and they're in the league, the division finals for a reason. You don't make it by accident. You got to earn it, and they have, and they showed that today. So make sure you give those guys a follow. Make sure you follow Frostbite 3030. Always racing, always fun to watch. Revolving Ocelot, our tracker today. Big shout outs to him. Tracking is a thing that it's not easy job. It's hard to pay attention to what both runners are doing, and trying to keep the commentator straight. And Revolving Ocelot is an awesome tracker for us. So big shout out to him. Give him a follow as well. Make sure you're following all the speed gaming channels for all your speed running and speed racing modes and games. We've got a lot going on right now. There's a Super Metroid interactive race over on the main speed gaming channel going on right now. Later at 10 p.m. on this same channel, Zelda 1 Randomizer Weekly is going to be going on. There's a Zelda 1 Randomizer on the main channel at 10 p.m. as well. Looks like Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer Spring Tournament at 9 p.m. We've got some Kirby, Nightmare and Dreamland going on in Speed Gaming 2. So lots of stuff going on. If you like the overworld glitches, we've got a tournament match tonight at 11:30 p.m. on Speed Gaming 2, so you don't want to miss that. If you are looking for league action, got nothing for you tomorrow, unfortunately, but we do have 2 matches scheduled for Tuesday, May 7th at 2 p.m. We've got Thelane of Team Awesome taking on Superman Taylor of Ferini. We'll do an interview if we win. That is game 1 for the Death Mountain Division Finals. Later that day at 7:30 p.m., we've got the Titans Mitts Dante taking on Act the Boker from Team 4K, Fourth and Forehead, and that's game 3 for the Lake Hylia Division. Make sure you want to check those out. And then May 8th, we've got Kyong versus Hitzion at 3 p.m. So you want to make sure you check those out as well. These playoffs have been so much fun to watch, and it's been great to watch them as we wrap up the first season of the league.
Yeah, not surprisingly, all the players that have made it in the playoffs are pretty dang good, and these matches have been really, really fun to watch.
Right. Surprise, surprise. All right, Frostbite, any last words before we head out of here?
Nope. Thanks again, Fear Agent, for helping hold my hand through this one, and looking forward to maybe doing this again, and probably looking forward to running the seat about 5 minutes because I got the...
Yeah, so go check out Frostbite 3030's channel. And Frost, I'm so glad to finally get you in the booth. We're going to have to do do it more because it was a blast. And yeah, so that's going to do it from us here at the ALTTPR League. Again, make sure you're checking out all the speed gaming channels and more league action. ALTTPRleague.com is where you want to be. Join our Discord. For Revolving Ocelot, for Frostbite 3030, I'm Fear Agent. See y'all later.